Hey guys, what was going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a pretty shitty ass streamer. Uh, the streamer we're talking about is We Found a Body. Clips are coming out about him just being a complete fucking tool in his chat. I'm sure you've seen a lot of them because, like I said, it's been everywhere. He's been getting his ass toasted on Twitter. If you haven't seen the clip, I'll make sure to put it up right now.
Spanish and it's chef's kiss. All right. Curvy, where the fuck have you been? Oh my god. Well, tell you what, Miss Dirty Curvy, you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to talk about it in my chat because it's Friday and that is a whole big bucket of bummer. And I'm sorry for your loss, but we're not doing that in my fucking chat. Thank you. Well, okay, Miss Dirty Curvy, you said, no, that's fine. You asked, so I told. No, I didn't ask you to tell me the biggest fucking bummer news in the world. I said, hey, what's up? How are you? You know what? Let me give you a little bit of a lesson, Miss Nerdy Curvy. When something really, really bad is going on in your life, and in a public forum, someone asks you, hey, what's up? How are you? There are two acceptable responses. Good, and you know what? I'll make it through. That's it. How are you? Good, or you know what? I'll make it through. Awesome. Love to hear it. See, there you go. Or Prom's response. Yeah, I said, Prom, how are you doing? She says, I'm alive. There you go. Oh, I asked you where you were. Look, Mr. Curvy, I'm just subtly trying to tell you that unloading really heavy news in people's chats on Twitch is not like good etiquette. It's not the place to do it. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's it. I figured this is a good opportunity to inform you. Heavy news like that, when someone asks, hey, where have you been? You don't need to tell them, well, my dog died, my husband left me for a younger woman, my house burnt down, and my car got stolen. So I've been a little bit busy. That's why I haven't been around. Because it's like, oh, God, like, like, you know, like if someone asks, like, hey, what's up? Where have you been? And it's heavy, just be like, I had a bunch of shit going on, so I've been lying low for a little while. Got it. That's it. I'm not trying to rip you a new ass.
But after that whole fucking clip, basically Miss Nerdy Curvy joins his chat after a long time. So We Found a Body says, hey, Nerdy Curvy, where have you been? And she responds with, my mom died. And, you know, there is a bunch of cuts, which we'll get into about that later. Some stuff's been cut out. But later into the video, he just responds with, my mom died. You know, that's why I haven't been in the chat. And he absolutely loses his shit. He starts screaming at her. He starts treating her like shit. She starts treating her like a kid, you know, just being a complete piece of shit to her for no fucking reason. And what makes this even worse is this is a very supportive chatter to him. Like, she's been in his chat since he started, being like very supportive, like very good, big in the community. Like, he recognized her name when she came in, and he treated her like this. He basically said he doesn't care about how she feels. There was only two responses to that question, and that was like, okay, or I've done better, or whatever the fuck he said, whatever dumb useless ass excuse he made. He was just being a complete piece of shit. So after that, Miss Nerdy Curvy uploads a twitlonger basically explaining what happened in that chat, what led up to it, and what happened afterwards, and why she said it. So basically, Miss Nerdy Curvy talks about how she has not been in the chat since like 2020, or she's been in and out, not really coming in very often because of some personal stuff. And she talks about how We Found a Body knew about this personal stuff because she's talked to him privately in Discord, which he also mentions as well about all the private stuff that they have talked about. Said she missed the community and she had a day off of work, so she went and joined the live stream to, you know, have fun with them. The chat, or the title of the stream, had something to do with Shrek, so she typed in the chat, have you ever seen Shrek in Spanish? You know, just trying to come up with something. We Found a Body sees that and says, hey, Miss Nerdy Curry, where the fuck have you been? And she responds with, my mom died. And according to him, he talks about her saying this multiple times in chat, and she cuts all that out in the video is what he said, and in the video you do see it being cut out, or at least something being cut out. And she explains that as she's on her phone, so it was a little delayed. So before he asked where she's been, he said something funny and she typed LMAO. And then right after she typed LMAO, he asked where she's been. So she put, my mom died. So it made it look like she said LMAO, my mom died. And her not wanting to make it seem like she was laughing about her mom dying, she then tried to correct herself. And then all the people in the chat were apparently critiquing her on her grammar. She keeps talking in chat, basically talking about how like life hasn't been doing good. She's just trying to correct what she said. Because obviously, LMAO, my mom died isn't the best thing you want to say. She said her intention was not to keep talking about it, but she felt safe in that chat. So when he asked the question, she felt safe saying what she did. She says this is the first time it's ever been brought up in his stream. She doesn't just go into people's streams saying that over and over again. And she also talks about how she used to be a streamer herself, so she knows how hard it is being told heavy news like that and how awkward it is to like do something. But she said she would have done it way differently instead of just shitting on somebody who was already hurt, which is completely agreeable. I mean, I don't understand how you process something like that where, oh, this person's obviously struggling really bad. I'm going to fucking just absolutely destroy them in the chat and fucking just treat them like dog shit. That is such a terrible way to do it. She then, on the same Twitter post, she posted the video on. She basically blames herself, and I guess in the twitlonger, she also blames herself in that too, saying how she shouldn't have done that and she is sorry, but really that is not her fault. She did answer the question he asked where she was at, and she said my mom died. I feel like that's a decent answer. I mean, I don't. Yeah, you could have lied and said that I've been busy, you know, I'm struggling. That's it, you know, something like that. But she felt safe. Like, this is a community to her. This is almost like family. So I can see why she felt comfortable saying something like that. After blaming herself, she unfollows We Found a Body on everything, any kind of social media. And then We Found a Body uploads his response saying he apologized that he was such a cunt, or that it was a cunty reaction, and he apologized for being a douche. And the biggest thing that I fucking love is him saying, that is my mistake. Said it right there. My mistake. My mistake. Notice I'm saying that. Because he then uploads an 8-minute response video saying completely otherwise. He starts off the video with basically saying that people in his chat aren't allowed to talk about heavy news, drama, or trauma. And they know that. He has automated messages that go in the chat, and people that have been in there very long, like Nerdy with a Curvy, knows that you just can't talk about that kind of stuff in the chat. And, you know, that's fair to have a rule like that, but he still just handled this terribly. He talks about how the video cuts out the important things of her mentioning it 2 other times and how he ignored it those 2 times because he didn't want to bring it up and bring down the mood in the stream. Which, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a, like, oh, she lied. You know, that's not, I feel like that's kind of what he's trying to say is she lied. She cut out this very important information. But it's not. You are still being a douche. We Found a Body says that he's actually talked to her in private about 1.5 years ago, I think is what he said, about not talking about this kind of stuff in chat. So she has done it before. And he talked to her in private, which she also brought up, saying that they talked in private about her private life, basically discussing it. And at the end of the conversation, they came to an understanding. She understands why he doesn't want that stuff in her chat, and so he was okay with it. He brings it up because he says that's why he was so frustrated when she kept talking about it, because he thought they came to an agreement. And she then apparently, you know, I do see what he's saying on her arguing with him, but she was also right. So you were wrong, so she was arguing with you because you were being a piece of shit. But he says he got frustrated because she was arguing with him about her being asked that question and her responding to it and him yelling at her for answering that question. He then says it is not his job to take on grief. His job is to live stream, not to take on people's grief. Which nobody's expecting it to be your job to take on people's grief. I mean, she puts it in her own twitlonger saying, like, you could have put, hey, I'm sorry for your loss. You know, that sucks. I can't really talk about this on stream right now, but I would love to talk to you about it later on. Something like that. You didn't need to be a complete and fucking disgusting piece of shit to her in front of I don't know how many people. I don't know how fucking big this douchebag is. I'm not going to look at his channel. I could care less. I don't know how big he is. I don't care. But I'm sure there was thousands of people in there that probably saw him just absolutely belittling her. He then says he's sorry for being an asshole, but he's not sorry for reminding her what not to talk about in chat. But he did a lot more than remind her. He, like I said, belittled her to the max. He says it was a mistake to bring it up the 3rd time, and people make mistakes. And yes, people do mistakes. Do make mistakes. That wasn't a fucking mistake. Bring it up. The mistake was you being a complete douchebag. Bring it up is fine. You could have been, I'm sorry about that. Sorry for your loss. That's really, really sucks. Anything other than what you fucking did. You responding to it was not a mistake. The mistake was you fucking just being a douche. That's the mistake. And yes, people do make mistakes, but from all the clips I'm seeing of this motherfucker, he is just an absolute piece of shit in general. He talks about how he's very upfront with people. He doesn't like pussyfoot around stuff. You know, he's just upfront, says the truth, doesn't care. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, obviously some people aren't going to like that, but, you know, being upfront's not a terrible thing. But there's a big difference between being upfront and just being a complete piece of shit douchebag to people. But after that, he talks about how it's his right to say what's okay in his channel, just like it's okay for people to roast him in Twitter. Which it is okay for you to say what isn't allowed on your channel. You could have asked her, please, to not talk about that. But that's not what you did. Again, you belittled the absolute shit out of her. Instead of just saying, please don't talk about this in chat. I'm sorry that happened. Done. Simple. This whole thing would have been gone. What really, irritates me too is at the end of it, he talks about how he hasn't really read any of the comments, and he's not retweeting any of the comments, and he's not doing any of that. And he says he'll probably read a little bit of the comments in Discord with his friends while eating popcorn. Like, this is fucking entertaining to him. He doesn't give a fuck. He just thinks this shit's funny. To just sit here and watch all the people get pissed off at him for literally screaming at somebody because their mom died. Like, it's not funny. Like, you're just being a douche. And after seeing these 2 clips of him and the third one that I'm about to talk about, I just smell his ego. Like, his ego is fucking massive. He just seems like he thinks he's the biggest shit in the world, and his shit doesn't stink. Like, he just seems like that kind of fucking guy. Like, fuck everybody around me. I'm all that matters. And just, yeah, that's what I get from all these clips that I'm seeing. Especially this third one that I'm about to talk about right now, which is where the day after his apology video, he was obviously live streaming, and he starts talking, and he says, I'm sure a lot of you have been aware of all the Twitter bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm so happy that all these people are coming to the channel, but please, God, don't let them be a bunch of whining little pussies. Like, what the fuck, dude? How do you just do that? How do you just do that? I don't get it. Like, if people aren't being whining pussies, you're being a cunt. And you've even said it yourself. And the main reason I said, like, he said my fault, he blamed it on himself, then uploads an 8-minute video of him fucking just absolutely saying how it is not his fault. So it's just, this whole fucking thing is just retarded as fuck. He's dumb as shit. He's an asshole. Fuck him. And I think a lot of people are on my side with that. A lot of people are on that side of things. There were some people in his chat kind of defending him when the whole thing was happening. There were a lot of people defending her, obviously, because I feel like a lot of people understand how much of a piece of shit that was. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if not, then please tell me why in the comments. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next bullshit video. Peace out.
Hella you delicious, looking so